PS4 teams. But everybody, we're gonna get started with game number 1 already. See legit on the Petrolite, on the Garnet, picking up Orb, and just getting started with a quick little side light. Okay, little Neutralite. See legit already just looks so confident with the movement.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, keeping Sandstorm on a bit of a ledge guard, but the guy's able to come back from it. Been in there, done that many times over, day in, day out. You legit, though, trying to make some things work. We're seeing the guys fishing for Sair a decent bit, hoping that doesn't bite him in the back. Orb Sair's a pretty good move, but sometimes it surrounds before and after you hit Orb Sair. It can be more important than throwing your weapon, try to get another Sair, and that can be a great way to start, but now we got the Gauntlet Ditto. We're going to see how well this fares up, but the end stig gets punished by a side light recovery. That's going to put Storm up in the game, and also charge the weapon with the slugger. That's a pretty smart placement. Also trying to go for a nair. Rainbow Arcs the scythe to try and... No, actually completely baits out. I thought he was going to stick with gauntlets, but was able to pull a little Swabberino and stay on scythe. But is that going to actually be the wrong choice?
Ooh, let's go for this GC sidelight just because of how much base knockback it has. It's such a good move to be able to edge guard with, but not going to be able to find it quite yet. You get that end light. That's not enough to KO. See legit, how do you find this KO with gauntlets? You need a recovery, you need a sidelight recovery, you need a sider at this point. You need anything, and Sandstorm is not getting hit. Oh, the pivot end light though. The pivot end light to catch Sandstorm behind you. That was such a good choice.
Extra credit's already been done, damage already up on the board, but still, as far as game 1 goes, this is not looking too bad. This is looking alright, also especially considering you see a lot of the times Storm's going for a lot of these hits. Sometimes would work on someone else. Sometimes he's able to go for a stray nap. He's able to catch and he's able to open up combo through there. There's a lot of times he starts with a side light and he's able to catch that into an end sig or maybe even another nair or Sair on its own. Legit really been caught by a lot of that stuff. It's really been a lot more of the simple bread and butter stuff that's going to cost to see that second stock. Storm is up in a mighty fine, confident lead right here, and it's also like Storm's not taking this slow. He's giving C the full experience right here.
Oh, that happened. Yeah, it happens to all of us. When you want to dash jump ground pound off stage, and then you end up dash jumping a little too far, and then you have too much momentum, and then you're not close enough to the stage. So C legit slightly misspacing it, forcing out the dodge, not going to go off stage, but just picks up the orb, the end light into the weapon toss. Amazing angle there, really good shot, and all of a sudden, C legit is on last stock with Sandstorm.
Oof. That's also considering the lead that Storm had up until this point, and C has been able to neutralize it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, what is C legit actually, doing here to be able to make this happen. At the moment, just holding onto the ground, overextending with that D-Light Sandstorm with a quick whip punish. Staying nice and patient on the stage. C legit able to get that side light, and now we're back to having a Gauntlet Ditto. But how do you make it back onto the stage? The answer is you do not.
Oh, no. All right. So, like I said, as far as game 1 goes, the fact that you were able to keep even definitely means something. Let me actually check something. Storm is seed and PR1, right? If I think it's top 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so, the fact that you're standing up to... We keep saying arguably the best player in the world, but it's getting a bit harder to say arguably. What if he really is just him? Are we going to stop saying arguably at this point and just put full caps best player in the game?
We'll see what this year has to offer. We'll see if we can make such a judgment. But yeah, so we have one of the best. Right? We have one of the best, and then we have somebody that neither one of us up until this moment were particularly familiar with. It seems like they're going to be heading back to Apocalypse, and then I just want to get like a better feel of like what actually ended up happening that game. Sandstorm, of course, and that was with that super early stock that Sandstorm ended up getting off the top of the screen, right? Like you can see like how quick C Legit's first stock is. So we're going to the next game. No switch ups at the moment. And so let's just see what happens.
Stage on Apocalypse. Sigil's able to make it back, but still, Sandstorm's able to keep him at bay. Rainbow Arcs the weapon toss. Not quite enough to find his way back. Storm has so far spent the entire 21st seconds of the game 2 in the lead, trying to bait something out with a fast fall. He's still able to trade a bit, still able to land, you know, a dare or an end light where it really matters. But it's really Storm keeping up the pace of this game, putting C in these very,
I
very
did love
situations.
C-Legit's Orb. C-Legit's Orb just did a really good job of keeping Sandstorm out. That is the weapon that I felt like they were the most comfortable with. But then Sandstorm just catching C-Legit off stage a little bit too long, being a little too patient, fell asleep at the wheel, and then just had to eat that ground pound to the face. Sandstorm now with a confident stock lead.
Storm looking to build up a lot more damage on the Scythe, as we know is very capable, not only just the way that Scythe is structured, but just his skill and repertoire up until this point. Volunteer sends off the side of the stage, chooses not to go for another dare, tries to pivot the D-Light, think he's gonna dodge in, but still, we could be having C. The Owl balance out the stocks right here, and Light sends him away. They're trying to follow up. Storm having a bit of a hard time finding some of these confirms. I mean, the guy's able to get a lot of damage. The guy is able to find damage like it's free change, on the street. He picks up like it's nickels on the side. But still, this KO is actually being very elusive to the guy. C is staying alive.
Is he able to get that neutral light? Okay, how do you actually close out the stock though? You get the weapon toss, but that's not going to be enough. The down air doesn't connect quite yet. The end light doesn't connect. But of course, the classics, the side light into the side air, just catching Sandstorm on that whiff. You do have a lot of damage that you need to be able to make up for. The recovery almost ended up getting the KO, although not quite yet. And now Sandstorm, Scythe on hand, going up against C-Legit's Orb, looking for the neutral light, able to get the follow-up after. Okay.
Ooh, exhaustion recovery was able to find their way back. Like we said earlier, Storm has been having a bit of a hard time finding some of these confirms. Ends up being a stray Sair to punish recovery. Finds himself in a very similar lead that he actually had last game. I know that I said like, oh, for game 1, that was looking pretty good, but for game 2, if you're having an exact repeat, Storm was in the exact same lead that he was in earlier. I gotta say, adaptation is some of the stuff that Legends are made of. We definitely start finding that. Still, we haven't really seen him get caught in a lot of these dodges, so still keeping his dodges varied. There you go. You can see, I don't think his form is right as dodge once, but is still able to react to a lot of the ways he's trying to approach, and is just able to keep sending him farther and farther away. He's in trouble right now.
But okay, really huge, able to get the D-Light into the ground pound, but C-Legit again tossing out the weapon, Orb on hand, looking for the ground pound and does not actually find it successfully, makes it back onto the stage still, gets the end light as a bit of a get off me option, and continuing to deprive Sandstorm of a weapon. The GC D-Light doesn't connect, Sandstorm just opting to play aggressively, and you can get away with it when you have this kind of a stock lead. But that end light, especially because of the fact that you caught Sandstorm's recovery, I feel like C-Legit keeps going back to pick up weapons instead of actually finishing off that stock. But finally, the down air comes out. This is a doable game, although unlikely.
End light recovery, tried and true. The one time that Storm is able to find a KO easily, it is the one that matters most. That's going to be 2-0 on the board. C legit has quite a bit to respond to, and I think we could be having a Mordex Ditto on screen, folks.
So yeah, going into... Oh wait, is it going to be a Mordex Ditto? Is C-Legit switching off to the Mordex? Really?
I mean, we're on map baiting while C is also on a Fenrir Mordex. It's just red versus blue at this point. This is like a TF2 game.
I see. Okay, so I mean, I feel like that's a pretty bold pick, right? You're going up against somebody who is, you know, the master of Mordex, without giving him like too much credit, right? So this is somebody who has a lot of awareness about Mordex's specific options, about Mordex's signatures, and the kind of space that he is then able to cover. So going into game number 3 here, Sandstorm is of course at advantage. C-Legit able to get that huge sider into a little follow-up. You caught the recovery though, and now this is what happens when you use your resources off stage. That is what it feels like to get edge guarded by Sandstorm. You have one bad dodge, you have one bad jump, you get your recovery just stuffed out once, and then Sandstorm is able to dismantle your ability to get back onto the stage.
So, C legit trying to keep up pace. I gotta say, if they actually play a perfect stock and are able to get this this first stock off of Storm, ground pound sound, that's pretty funny. But yeah, no, Sea Legit is able to get this first stock off of Sandstorm, then that would actually be huge, especially considering the fantastic way that we saw Storm just take that first stock, but still, Storm is giving the man the tour of Apocalypse, throws Skyforge gauntlets up and also throws them down. Try and get this confirmed. Storm chooses not to reverse and instead takes his first opening to try and recover back to the stage during that one moment. Sayer sends at the funny 45. Now we got the guy on bracket.
That was the most tragic stage spike angle to get possibly hit by. All of a sudden, you down 3 stocks to 1, and you got gauntlets, you gotta find a way to KO. So you know what that means, D-lights and side lights, but Sandstorm catching that dodge down, extending with the weapon toss as well, sliding off with that D-light, and dealing so much damage onto Sea Legit. At the moment, the problem for Sea Legit is closing and getting back onto the stage, and Sandstorm is looking to make that second problem as difficult as possible.
Sea Legit actually almost had a great chance for a ledge guard, but no, chooses to let him get back to stage and then find the KO right then there. It is going to be very, very hard for Sea Legit to stay alive in this set right here. Storm, I know we said this on Storm has been struggling to find some of these KO options, but when it really matters the most, the guy's able to usually find something, even if he just has to wait for a stray scythe snare. Usually
so
able
many
to
ground pounds.
I've
never seen so many unarmed ground pounds actually connect. Sandstorm, are you going to be able to get this edge guard? You do the weapon toss. Doesn't actually connect to the D-light either. But at this point, I mean, Sea Legit has just a mountain to come back from. Sandstorm gets that end light, gets that weapon toss. That's the GC side light into the recovery off stage as well. Sandstorm cleaning up that stock and cleaning up that set.
Okay, you say that you have not seen unarmed ground pound hit that much. I've actually not seen GC, GC sidelight into recovery hit so low into the stage as a genuine